As you can tell, my nice little TBR shelf is empty and needs to be full of books. So before I get to what's on my TBR for the second quarter, I'm going to give a little rundown of my first quarter wrap-up and how I did. So let's start with the books that I didn't even start, and the first one is Robin Hobb's Royal Assassin, the second book in the Farseer trilogy, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the seventh book in the Harry Potter series, Scott Westerfeld's Afterworlds, and last but not least is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, now let's move on to the books that I've started, I plan on finishing, but have not finished as of yet. The first book being The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, Humans by Matt Haig, How to Catch a Prince by Rachel Hawk, and then the last book, The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. Okay, so moving on to the books that I actually finished, I will put down below the wrap-ups and the full reviews that I have of all of these. I just want to briefly mention the ones that I finished. The first book being Insurrection by Kadee Carter. This is a young adult science fiction book that is fantastic. I absolutely loved this. It was so amazing, so amazing. The next book that I want to talk about is Keeper of Secrets by Stephanie Kneese. This is the first book in a trilogy. I would definitely say this is more middle grade than young adult. I thought it had great characters and an intriguing plot that young girls would really enjoy. The next book is A Beauty So Rare by Tamera Alexander. This was a reread for me, and I actually listened to the audiobook and I really enjoyed the audiobook. This isn't my favorite book of Tamera Alexander's, but I still really enjoy her writing and I still would recommend her as a writer and her books because they're so good. And then the next book that I want to talk about is The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. This is the fourth installment in the Mistborn world. It takes place 300 years after Hero of Ages. I absolutely loved this book. It was so fantastic, amazing, wonderful, oh my goodness, fantastic. Okay, and then the last book that I finished on this TBR was The Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. I absolutely love this. This is a fantasy. I would definitely say it's more adult fantasy. It has some more graphic details in it, but it was so amazing. So amazing. Amazing. Okay, so I finished 5 books on the TBR. I read more than that, but I read 5 on my TBR and I started 4. So, let's move on to the books that are going to be on my shelf here for the next 3 months. And the first book that is going back on the shelf is actually Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the 7th book in the Harry Potter series. I've been rereading this series for a while now, and I've been really enjoying it, and I really just kind of want it to be done. So maybe I could start over and reread it again. Who knows? Next book that is going up there is Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Reckoners series. This is his young adult dystopian series. I absolutely loved Steelheart and I'm looking forward to continuing in this world. The next book that is going up there is Fire Study by Maria V. Snyder. This is the third and final book in the Study series. I am so looking forward to getting to this book because I absolutely loved the first 2 books. I finished those in 4 days and I cannot wait to start this book. I cannot wait. And then the next book that I have chosen is To Whisper Her Name by Tamera Alexander. This is the first book in the Bellmead Plantation series that she has. I'm going to read this little snippet of this because it really does give a better synopsis of the book than I can, and that is: set at Nashville's historical Bellmead Plantation, the most influential thoroughbred stud farm in America's history, To Whisper Her Name weaves the struggles of real people of the post-war South with the journeys of a man and a woman scarred by betrayal. So this follows Olivia and Ridley and how they're dealing with life after the war and how it has affected them. And I absolutely love this. The first couple, I think I've read it twice. I really enjoyed this novel, so I'm looking forward to reading it again. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I'm really excited about reading it. So yeah, so that is To Whisper Her Name by Tamera Alexander. The next book that is going back up on my shelf is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. I cannot believe I have not finished this book. I've started it several times. I've enjoyed everything that I've read. I just stopped reading it for some reason. So I'm determined to finish this book this next 3 months. Let's hope I do. So the next 6 books that are on my TBR are the pics that I drew from my TBR jar. If you missed my TBR jar video, I'll link it down below. You should go check it out. It has all of my nice challenges / topics that are in my jar and what I'm doing with it. And so, yeah, so these are the books. I will tell you the topic and then I will tell you the book. So the first topic challenge is read a book not written in the 21st century. So read a book before 2000, the year 2000. That was really hard for me because I don't have a whole lot of books that are written in the before then. But I did find one, and that is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, the second book in the Lord of the Rings, or second installment of the Lord of the Rings series. And I'm really looking forward to getting to this. I'm enjoying Fellowship of the Ring, and I know that this is going to not disappoint. So I'm really excited. The second challenge is to reread a book, and I know that there are a couple books already on my shelf that I'm rereading that I could have used for the challenge, but I decided to read something to pick something that I've been wanting to reread that I can't remember a whole lot about, and that is Black by Ted Dekker. This is one of the books in the Circle trilogy series, whatever you want to call it, and this follows Thomas, who is jumping back between two different worlds. One is Earth, and on Earth there is this potential threat of a virus being exposed that will wipe out humanity. Then he goes into what seems like a dream reality. But is it dream reality? Is it a way for him, is this reality that he goes into, is it a way for him to stop this virus? And that's about all I remember about this story. I know that I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to rereading this book and the entire series, so I cannot wait. So that is Black by Ted Dekker. So moving on to topic / challenge number 3, and that is read a book in paperback. This one was really easy for me because most of my books on my TBR are paperback, so I just grabbed one that was fairly small. Then that is The Awakening by Angela Hunt. This is a psychological thriller, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's about this girl, Aurora, who has been taking care of her invalid mother, and when her mother passes away, a lot of different things just start to happen, and it just sounded really intriguing when I was in the store, and so I am looking forward to reading this. I haven't read anything by Angela Hunt before, and so I'm really looking forward to getting into this book. So the fourth challenge is read a standalone. So the book I chose for that is I've Got Your Number by Sofia Kinsella. This is about this girl who loses her phone and picks up this random phone that she finds, and it just sounds like a really cute book, and I've heard great things about it, and I'm really looking forward to reading another book by Sofia Kinsella. I've read a few of hers and I've enjoyed most of what I've read, and so I'm really looking forward to just like a fun, easy read. And yeah, so that is I've Got Your Number by Sofia Kinsella. And then the fifth challenge that I have is read a young adult book. And the crazy thing is that I actually didn't, except for the book that is already up on my shelf and the next book, I only had one other choice for young adult that I have not read that was on my shelf, and that is Dumpling by Julie Murphy. This is about this plus-size girl that decides to enter into this beauty pageant, and I met the author actually at a panel at the RT Book Lovers Convention, and I really enjoyed meeting this author. She was really funny and just really nice, and so I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I've had it for a couple months now, and it's just been sitting on my shelf, something I've been wanting to read. I just haven't gotten to it, so I'm really looking forward to reading this book. So that is Dumpling by Julie Murphy. And then the last book and the last challenge that is on my TBR is read a fantasy book, and I chose Across the Universe by Beth Revis. This is a young adult fantasy about this girl who is traveling across the universe. She's supposed to be frozen and in a spaceship with all these other people, and she wakes up when someone tries to murder her. And so it's like this just crazy like mystery of what's happening. Everyone's supposed to be frozen, but apparently there's someone that's awake and he tried to murder me. And so I'm really looking forward to reading this. I have gotten a few mixed reviews about this book, but I'm looking forward to getting into it and forming my own opinion. Those are the 11 books that are on my TBR for the next 3 months, so April, May, and June. These aren't necessarily the only books that I will read in the next 3 months, but I like to have a place where I can start. Looking forward to reading all of these books, and yeah, so let me know down below if you read any of these, if you have any recommendations of books that I should read first, and that's all I have to say. So guys, I hope you're having a great reading month, and I will see you on the flip side.